You are being recorded. Okay.
Hello, welcome. Today is November 20th. It is November, and I'm in the Northern Hemisphere. We're gathered all over the world, and it's 14:30 on a Thursday, so that means open spaces with the Gimbalabs crew. Hey, James is here, Nelson, Lewis is here. I see Gideon, Andrew's here. We get together on these weeks to do the consent process and some other things that I love to read so I don't forget. And they are, um, I'm glad you're here. It's something sometimes we forget to say, but it's an important thing and it's a big part of Gimbal Labs. These are a 90-minute session. Just going to give you guys a heads up of what you're about to experience. And it's a space for learning, coordination, and decision making. We get together to stay connected, share updates, explore new ideas, and do consent-based governance. Um, when we do this, we keep Gimbal Labs community aligned with its purpose. And that purpose is to provide open, replicable, and safe space for people everywhere to learn, to explore, to empower one another to solve meaningful problems. And I'd like to take this time to sort of talk about one concept around, open space or governance, and that is transparency and building in public. The reason why we do this and why we record things is so that we have a sense of not just that the products and the things that we put out are on GitHub and in the open, but we actually practice our decision making. And if you're interested in Gimbal Labs, you can look over our years of these governance meetings and see like what we talk about, how we talk about them, and we practice this in order to become a habit. And by making a habit, we can get to a better spot for our communal decision making. With that being said, let's start up with our agenda. What do you think?
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right. I am going to share my screen as I like to do. I do know that we've got a couple of proposals. Um, since whenever this is our big board, and actually we did make based on last week's discussion, we made a little intro to the different phases of the projects, and they're up at the top. But do we have any new ones in this one? Did anybody sneak through? Anybody here on the call have one that's um, in the proposal ready for review? Um, because on our agenda, which is up here with our little tractor, for today, 11:20, we've got the Swarm Treasury Gimbal Labs proposal 2025. Let me just open that one fresh. And this one is by Tevo, and he is here and ready to present. And we also have another one by Alex, which is Gimbal Labs Possible Futures, which basically will be about Fund 15 and answering this question of what two proposals will Gimbal Labs put into Fund 15? What will Gimbal Labs 2 Fund 15 proposals be? My grammar sometimes escapes me. But these are the two to propose. Does anyone have another proposal that didn't get into this hopper that they want to bring up? Yep.
I don't know, but maybe due to last week feedback we got, I did one or two changes. I don't know if that will still fit into um yeah, to what's happening on ground in Cardano right now, but maybe if there's still time left, maybe I'll just try to talk about it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Add that
Um,
to the agenda. Let's add
yep,
that to the
yep,
agenda.
yep. And I can put that one down here. Yeah, see, it was the last one, and I'm just gonna, I'll do this. I think I can just go, yeah, perfect. Um, yes, so this could be another one of the proposals because Emmanuel, you're making a Fund 15 proposal. That's correct?
Yes.
So basically, and this is another core tenet of the open spaces, we decide what we're going to do with our individual time, and then uh, with our collective time, as the Gimbalabs. Now each of us individually can join projects, however, but Gimbalabs as an entity can only be a part of two proposals, and really should make um, commitments and partnerships with proposals uh, to the ones that we can satisfy, meaning that we can't just join all sorts of proposals. Okay. With that being said, let's get into it. Does anybody have any? Is it clear what we're gonna do? I think we'll start with the Swarm Treasury, and then maybe the possible futures. Deciding basically which two proposals. Maybe actually do something with Emmanuel.
I mean,
What do
let's.
you?
I feel like it's only fair to stick to what we have. Like, let's get Tivo and Alex done fast, and then jump to Emmanuel.
Well, the only reason why I say do a manual first is because the Alex one is about which two we want to join. And so if we have a little bit of a thing about manuals, then we
Oh,
could.
Emmanuel, do you want to put the proposal through Gimbalabs or through Blockprint, Emmanuel?
It depends on what Gimbalabs think. If
Yeah,
it fits to the standard of what Gimbalabs could push out to, yeah, so that
yeah.
would be all right. That would be good. Like if it's acceptable, if it's yeah, so
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's start with Tebo and then we'll see how we go.
yeah.
Um, so let's do it. Let's do Tebos. Tebo, how much time do you need? You need five or 10 minutes to go through it, and then we'll have like another five
Let's
or
give
ten
it.
minutes
Let's
to
give it 10.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you think you can give a presentation in 10? Then we'll have another 10 minutes or so to do our discussions and rounds and things. Oh, do we leave them? You're still on mute.
So I enabled multiple screen shares. Should I not do that?
No. We'll see if you can share.
Okay.
It doesn't show me what I show. I don't know why.
Ah.
Do you see document or a huge ass calendar?
No,
This
the
is the
document.
document.
Okay,
Cool.
close that one. Well, last time, and some people know I'm like working on the Swarm Treasury, but the huge issue there with that treasury is that it's on Excel, and we provide a service to ambassador program to operate treasury. There was a bunch of like training, and there are people who know how to use it, but the system changed, and you kind of need to reuse it. But either way, it requires always Excel license, and it's not really like intuitive for somebody to just pick up and run their own treasury manager. And how much we spend or like how much we distribute funds and like the amount of time we spend using the treasury is like quite like considerable. And so it's reaching over 500,000 in value. At some point, AJX was worth quite a lot. I think one AJX when ADA was $1 or something. So although now it's tanked quite high. And so basically it has value and it's constantly being used, and I don't actually see even that it's needs or like it's looking for a replacement. In some sense, it's like a huge. There is a unique aspects of that, like aggregating different project boards. So in general, for those who don't know, holy shit, what is Ambassador program and what is the treasury, then imagine if you on Gimbalabs know what's Andamio, there is also this backend where you can manage like projects and create tasks. So imagine the treasury manager as the second step where it aggregates all of that information and does distribution, even though you're working on smart contract, which also does distribution. Here it's more likely looking at GitHub and bringing stuff from GitHub or Dwork, or some people are actually using Google Forms to submit stuff or Excel sheets directly. And basically that manager has the front end. I can also show that like the tools already exist, but in like different forms. And essentially why I'm here is that the biggest downside is now that Andre is working a lot more on the mesh side, and he doesn't have that capacity to be part of the proposal team in order to deliver it if it does get funded. So I'm joining here in this space where are developers and seeing if there are people who are interested, like looking into that proposal and putting their time for for this. Like if it does get funded, then there is somebody who starts to develop it. Yeah, and this proposal itself, the small one, is essentially a proposal to have a quick like sprint team for next week, where we have 2 sessions. In the first one, where I'm gonna demo you the tool, give you all the access to all the links and stuff that you may require, and clarify information, and then we do some brainstorming of existing information. Like you can already see that I have proposal and I have like previous like the list of data sets and features or everything that we need, but that was done together with Andre, and he may have like a different experience and tech stack. So if you are not using, like let's say you don't want to use mesh and want to build something else to deliver this, you are also able to do that, but I would need that information so we can cost it into the proposal to get the real cost of delivering the new version of Treasury. And then in the middle section, I think I will spend a day or two to take in that information you share in the first session, and then make like a new version of proposal. And then we have another session where we fine tune it and estimate the cost of that. Yeah, and that's basically it. I don't need funds, but yeah, I do need somebody who is able to has like some technical knowledge and the proposals.
I have a question. Do you want this proposal to be Gimbalabs proposal, or are you going to post it as a separate proposal? And you're just looking for collaborators?
Yep. Great
Well,
question.
to me, it doesn't matter. I know that right now the logos they're gonna be is my name as the lead, and whoever then joins here as a developer. So you don't have to bring the like Gimbalabs brand video.
Okay. Interesting. And
Yeah,
does that?
all right.
Okay.
Just give me I'm dropping my calendar so we can book a meeting if you'd like. And it's a cool proposal. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, open to be on the proposal. Let's meet and just discuss. And I think you want some brainstorming to figure out the text of proposal and what should be in the form.
Well, the text already is there. So if you look at the second I started opening the Treasury, the proposal is in this link. You can also find it there. It has some like small stuff that are not yet decided. But yeah, basically, yeah, some of the text already is there, but the huge part is this milestone 1. milestone 2, basically milestones, there is already like a somewhat like how do we do development, but I do need like a second developer who is able to kind of tell and understand the components or totally rewrite them and kind of give their own assessments of the costs. Because yeah, right, this version is basically made by another developer who is not able to. Andrew will be able to kind of guide and around the platform itself if you want to reuse the code. But if you don't, then yeah, maybe some things I don't know, like did he take stuff from on chain or is it like a backend somewhere? Some technical information he probably knows. And over the development, he can also kind of guide, but he's not the one who's gonna do the code development.
Can you please drop the link in Discord, because I'm on mobile and I cannot copy it anywhere right now. So
Okay.
I review it in the morning and I will get back to you. I'm pretty open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. I'd be happy to collaborate with you.
And this is
Yeah.
like a quick glimpse of what it looks like in Excel. So you have a bunch of buttons here, most of like importing GitHub, importing from files from other sources, deleting stuff, configures a lot of like automation, how this information appears, all these contributions. Then insert participation is connected with Discord and Zoom to get like where people meet and how to, if they get rewarded or yeah, basically this one now I'm looking to get into like a web application so people can just go to the browser, connect their wallet and get access to start managing their own treasury.
And now, so in this part, we're in sort of the questioning. So does anybody have a burning question that they want to ask right off? And you can raise your hand or just come off mute. And after that, we'll do a round of clarifying questions and sort of what do they call it? Like resonance or you know your sentiment. Not to say, yeah.
So specifically for proposals like this, where they're not asking like financial resources, right? They're
That's
basically
right.
asking for manpower.
Yep.
What should be the next step? Should we have like a channel where like anyone interested can like go meet with Tevo and all of that, or what would be the next step? Because if they're asking for money, I know creating a project is our next step, right? If the proposal gets approved. And
Right.
specifically when asking for resources, is there even anything called approving the proposal? I'm just curious. These are the
Right.
questions I have.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess that's to be a question for us, the community. That is, yeah, it really wouldn't be making a proposal like in our normal system to where or like creating a project to like distribute funds. It's really just for the individual and just actually like what Alex just did. He's like, okay, I'm interested. Let's make a connection. I'm not certain. That is a good question. I made a note of it. We'll see. Any other questions for Tevo about it? Do you kind of understand, etc.? And if nothing pops up, then we'll do a little bit of a round, and you can give just some advice, or if you don't have a clarifying question, then you can just pass. But let's do a round. Just put everybody on the medium warm seat, not a hot seat, just a medium warm seat. Harsha, do you have something for Tevo exactly? And then
Like
Alex.
a question?
Yeah, a question or any kind of
No, I pretty
vibe.
much got whatever I had in mind. Yeah.
Okay. Alex, you are
Great
interested in the project
proposal.
and making
Yeah, great proposal. It's a time to collaborate and be on each other's teams. Mind that
I like it.
I think up to 6 proposals to participate in as individuals. And if we are over, there will be like issues with the Catalyst team. But I'm not
There you
on
go.
anyone's proposal for the moment. So I'm, especially, with the Catalyst is like, what's the likelihood it's going to get funded? So you got to be there. And I trust Tiva because he was veteran when I just joined Cardano, you know, so he
Yep.
knows his stuff, and it's a very good proposal. It is that's I don't know
Beautiful.
how many people on the team, yeah. So
That's gonna be great.
I'd be happy to, you know, yeah, for sure.
You know, I'll jump in because I know Tevo, he's old school, and then the person Andre, who I guess has been working with working with this, who can't be in this complete. He's great. Andre is phenomenal. Super somebody that just builds, doesn't talk a lot, like is an action-oriented guy. That's a big plus column to be able to interact, even if he can't be the full developer. It's, getting him to show you around the code base would be really pretty cool. And then I guess I do have a question which we can answer at the end. So this is basically you're looking for help for the proposal, but then also to draft the proposal in these next few days.
Yes.
Tevo, is that? Yeah. Okay. So that's my
Majority
one.
of drafting probably is like done, I will say. But yeah, if somebody has like issues with that, we can change wording. I'm not really stuck to it. Most of it's generated from AI because I have already so much information and previous proposals. So it's like the mash of the dashboard and backend and all that stuff.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Next on our list would be Emmanuel and then Ahmed. Emmanuel, any questions for Tevo or any response?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ahmed and then Andrew. Thanks, Emmanuel. And Ahmed might just be okay. Andrew and then Gideon.
Hey, Tero. Thanks for the proposal. I guess my question is, sorry, if I've not picked this up with what you with what was in the proposal, but do you have a somewhat clear idea of exactly what needs building?
Aha.
Yes, the tools already exist in like in Vercel application APIs, but they're all like different, segmented into different GitHubs, and then the manager itself is in Excel. So the scripts, everything is working. It's like usable product in some ways, but the user interface could use some work, and it basically needs to be translated into web application. And I have no understanding of how this React and JavaScript work. So lot of that work that needs to be done is more like Web 2 based, like don't really need smart contracts, although there would be like a very cool next steps. But right now with this proposal, I'm looking to recreate what we have, but in a format where, okay, there are a little bit few elements that already don't exist. For example, the wallet connection to give you access. Right now, in order to give access, I need to create Microsoft licenses or make like password accounts on the backend side. But that here, more thinking like, okay, if you connect your wallet and you have a token access, same way as Andam is working, then you get to use the tools. So that's one of the like features that is not existing. But I think that's like doable.
So, and you keep data in an Excel spreadsheet at the moment. So I'm assuming you don't have a database that sort of needs implementing as well.
Both, yes. So some of the stuff is still in Excel, for example, private information of whose emails are, who are the account names, and like some automation connection. And when I'm pulling in resources, but a lot of that lives also in database when we are like where already some of the data is cleaned, and then there is also this third version where we put a lot of stuff as a metadata on chain, like recognition. But that's more obscure because it's only like if you don't know who owns the wallet address, then you don't know who is getting contribution. But if you are in the network or know who works on what, then you kind of see it. And proofs are also in the Excel as a proof of link.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Beautiful. Thanks, Andrew. Gideon and then James.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Thanks, Gideon. James, and then Nelson.
I'm excited for you guys to organize these primitives. I think this is a great proposal, and I hope that we get the right team to build it. Thanks, Tavo.
Yeah, that's good. Nelson, and then Aomi.
Yeah, likewise,
Oh,
pretty good proposal. Yeah, nothing much to add here, but yeah, looks solid. Thanks.
nice. Harsha, you got your hand up. You want to jump in real quick?
Yeah, I have a quick question. So just for the scope of this proposal, Tevo, would you want a list of people that are potentially interested in the project and then you'll put forward the proposal? Or would you want whoever is interested in the project to also help you write the proposal?
Well, writing I can do, but if somebody wants to help, like I don't say no. So sure. But I would, in order of like writing, I do still need somebody who is technically able to kind of tell, oh, want this kind of UI and you want wallet connect.
Yeah.
It's gonna take about 8 hours. I don't know. Maybe it takes 6 hours. And now this
Right.
agent stuff also. So I need somebody who's technically able to kind of assess what's needed, considering what is needed. Like there are specific documentation, but there may be gaps of like the way I described. And so you can see, oh, you jumped from needing a requirement to sort this thing, but you are missing something here after like transaction. I don't know, like trying to make something up.
Yeah,
So-
makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. And how many are you looking for? Are you looking for specifically one person or are you looking for more people?
Well, this is, and the way I'm running stuff, can be as many people as they want, but considering the more people there are, the less rewards a single person will get.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay,
Right,
that's all
right,
the
right.
questions I had. Yeah.
Okay.
I would prefer more
let's
people. I think the more people we have, the funner it is. And I'm also like doing this PBL style. So most of the work is like constantly like public and sharing and learning from each other and like project-based building basically.
for sure. Yeah, and that's actually something you're known for. It's a swarm, you know. Yeah, that's a great thing. Aomi, let's finish up our round. We've got Aomi and Lewis. Aomi, do you have a question for Tivo or some response about the proposal, about the idea? She may be in transit. And okay, this is a spot for you, Aomi. And then Lewis, what do you got?
No questions from me. I mean, other than Table, that is the neatest Excel sheet I've seen in a while.
Yeah, man, that's pretty
So
badass.
neat.
Yeah. We get to see your Miro boards all the time, Tevo, but at Excel it's like getting to see a little bit behind the curtain. It's beautiful. Cool. All right, so what we'll do then, I think that now that we've socialized this and the community knows about it, they know how to get in touch with you. We'll look around on the Discord to see what if we can find folks to participate, because that is the thing that we're looking for, opportunities for our community developing, solving problems. And this, I think, treasury management is a huge problem. Being able to quickly recognize contribution and fund things, those are real world things that get in, are blockers for great coordination and community work or business work. The difference between a business and a community, but it's important for coordinating human effort. We need this type of tools. So good on you for building this out, and then with the idea to like make it more accessible and into a genuine app. So beautiful. All right, so let's wrap up that one and let's go on to our next agenda item, which would be our I feel like a manual could go now, and then Alex, I know you're up late, but Alex, your proposal this is just, it's basically just about like, hey, what are the two proposals that Gimbal Labs can join in a specific way as an entity?
That as well, yeah. So there's few parts there. So let the mailing go first, and then I'm gonna.
Yeah, is that cool? And Emmanuel, you just because you're just kind of touching up on the changes that you made from last week. So do you want me to bring up the proposal, or do you want to share your screen, Emmanuel?
Uh, I think I'm on my laptop right now, so I'll just go ahead to share my screen.
Okay, yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we'll set the timer for like 9 minutes, and we'll see where we get.
Yeah, that should be enough.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, man.
Yeah, just a continuation of where we stopped last week, but I would like to give a quick recap for I think most of the guys here right now. They went for the Cardano summit, and so yeah, so where I started last week was about Blockprint X Gimbal Labs to build BlockGov, which is a all-in-one Cardano platform. I think let me just yeah, all-in-one Cardano governance platform. So the discussion last week was creating a mono repo app uh, to create and submit Cardano's governance to create governance action, which is as a proposer, you'll be able to create, submit governance action aligning with the Cardano's constitution compliance layer while creating this. And so for easy DREP to give rationale and voting, and for the SPOs and all of those. And we will be creating a governance explorer as well, and a treasury explorer. So from the feedback last week, yeah, so coming back to the feedback, from last open space feedback, we can build BlockGov one step at a time, because I think all of this would actually take months. Maybe we might say, yeah, it's very, very easy to jump onto, but starting it, we would actually realize that it's a whole lot of work. So we are proposing that, okay, maybe we'll take it one step at a time, focusing on what is urgent and important rather than creating a cluster of workload. And I think Asha also mentioned it, that why would you want to build everything at once? Yeah, so because right now you can still create a governance action through Gov2, and yeah, you can still visualize and explore. But um I think the Treasury Explorer, so we propose to build a Cardano Treasury Explorer first. Why? Because we need transparency for Cardano's governance. There is currently no single intuitive public dashboard that shows where funds from and how they accumulate to the Cardano Treasury, and how governance decisions affect them. It will help developers and ecosystem plan funding, show how total treasury is available for grants, predict treasury runway based on network and activities and inflation. It's also good for education, breed community misunderstanding, misinformation. Many users don't know how the treasury grow, what determines the treasury inflow, and it will also give Cardano governance maturity and the tooling gap, which Cardano has this treasury and governance foundation, but lacks the visual and analytical infrastructure, which Polkadot has created a strong reason for Cardano to build a treasury explorer, which I think I opened last week, but we couldn't compare it very well. This is what Polkadot has right now. Uh, and I don't know if there is any other Treasury Explorer Cardano has that you can easily see. I'm still waiting for this to load. You can easily visualize.
Right.
You can even connect your wallet and maybe tip some proposals that is doing well. So this is how presently this is what the Cardano treasury looks like. Let me see. I doubt if the website is even being maintained. Well, let's see. Yeah. Oh,
403 forbidden.
Yeah, that's pretty much the state of things.
yeah, but I just opened this recently before, coming to this meeting, and it showed everything live. But yeah, this is just comparing, and yeah, so. And also, I found out, I think Tivo said something about Mesh and Sidan Lab doing something like the Cardano governance Explorer, but it's not like explicitly saying, okay, this is a Treasury Explorer for you to visualize, or you can see just the Treasury withdrawal, just to show the governance action. But we are building like this one is basically just imagine saying the um Cardano scan, for example, yeah, something like this, but we can visualize it as a Cardano Treasury Explorer. Where is it?
Yeah, with this update of clarification of scope, I think this helps a bit more because now it's not just about listing stuff, but it's more focusing on specific like use case, and that's true. Like I am not able to tell where are funds coming from and where they are going without
Right.
knowing where the proposals are, how to match them with the Cardano file that you had forbidden in some reason. And okay, and already even if you know that, like, okay, you will see that, okay, there is some funds going somewhere, but technically, like tap tools used to do that, but I don't know, maybe they move it to the paid version now, where you're able to see like the aggregation of, okay, these wallets are getting funds, but technically they're all just one person. That was like a fun thing to know. And
Oh, right.
another thing, the reason why I'm doing treasury is because also at some point I assumed, like, which is now I think 4 years, that we are able to just plug in some kind of dashboard to see how the money moves between us. Because we do get a lot of funds in treasury and we're spending a lot of funds out. And like this, I don't know if you have seen this kind of graphs where the like this kind of explosion canvases are like appearing, and then you would recognize, oh, Catalyst is the one distributing funds going into Gimbalabs, Treasury, or like other communities, and then you see they are popping off into different networks or maybe different treasuries, and they also pop. So you kind of start to see like network effects of where do you of these like fund movements, and that would be very strong like tool to get investments or like impact investments.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so yeah, it was part of this feedback that okay, yeah, I think maybe this focus on saying, okay, yeah, we could do something like this just to visualize how this treasury, because there's a lot of things going on in the Cardano treasury right now. And maybe likely very soon we would even be having a multi-asset treasury, just like what Polkadot is also doing. I think it's being proposed by Insin and Mesh as well. So there's a lot going on with the Cardano trade right now, just for us to yeah, just to leave it the way it is, which is not educative. Yeah, so is it worth to build this project in collaboration with Gimbalabs? Our initial thinking is yes, because Gimbalabs has strong community reach and hands-on experience in participating and building Golf tool, which I think the recent Discord direct bot that was built, yeah, and partnering with them could also ensure the product becomes sustainable and widely adopted, which Yeah, I totally agree about that. And if collaboration with Gimbalabs isn't the best fit, would it make sense to propose this to intersect Cardano Foundation? Just thinking out loud, or any governance-focused organization within the ecosystem. We want to identify the right partner we can build, we can, who can help us build, maintain, and scale this solution effectively. So, yeah, that's on my side. If there are any
Yeah.
questions,
Yeah.
yeah,
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. And that's a great, I mean, that's it. It's just like, hey, is Gimbalabs the right partner here?
yeah.
Um, anyone with a burning
So
question before we go into
James had
rounds?
his hand up, so I'm going to
Yeah,
call
okay.
James up, and then we can do a round if you want.
Yep, perfect.
Sure. Well, yeah, and this is what I would share in a round or either way. I think this is a great proposal, and Emmanuel, thanks for pulling this together. I put my hand up when we mentioned Mesh and Sedan because I was talking to Felix last week about some of the next step work they're doing. So, Emmanuel, I'm really glad that it's you bringing this proposal because you also have a foot in the Mesh team, and so really aligning with those guys to make sure that what we're doing is complementary to what they're doing. I think that's another reason this is a great fit for Gimbal Labs. There's a lot of uncertainty about who's going to run Cardano governance, right? And so this means both maintaining those online sites like you're talking about. I think this is a great thing for Gimbal Labs to lean into, but also things like the Cardano Improvement Proposal, CIP process. That's another place that needs support, right? So I just want to like name that. Like these are great things for Gimbal Labs to have an eye on because leadership is needed for all of it. So yeah, thanks for getting this conversation going.
Yeah, thanks, James. Yeah.
All right, thank you. And then let's unless somebody's got one that's just burning and that they want to get off right off, we'll start with a round. And we'll start. Let's start with Harsho. All right, no, let's start with Lewis. We'll go backwards. We'll go backwards as we do, so we don't. Lewis, do you have anything? I mean, what's your thought about governance, and do you understand how this might work?
Yeah, I mean, I'm slowly learning the ropes here. So I have a bit of understanding. So at the moment, I have no questions or feedbacks. But this is interesting, actually. Yeah,
Cool.
thank you.
Thank you. And I know that Aomi might be listening in, but we'll make a space for her. She may be away from the keyboard. And Nelson. How about Nelson and then Gideon?
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it, but yeah, I think there are other initiatives that's also going on. I think I saw one from the mesh team actually. I'm not sure if this is exactly related to that one or not. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
And that's yeah.
is this one
So
it?
I think this is the one from Mesh.
I think,
Looks
yeah, I think this is the one from Mesh. Let me check if there's any. Yeah, I think this is it.
yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And I guess what yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. And so Nelson, you're still thinking about it and these other initiatives. And that I guess I want to make that point is that that's sort of what this iteration is that we, based on the feedback from last week, it's like, hey, look, there's all these components out there. And then the way I understand it, Manuel is like, who should we partner with in order to solve this meaningful problem? In the Gimbal Lab style. Gideon and then Ahmed. Is he still about?
Yeah, so yeah, I don't have anything to really say right now, but I think this is a good proposal. According to what Emmanuel has said so far, everything sounds like really interesting. And yeah, I'd like to see how this goes forward. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Ahmed and then Tevo.
Yeah, I think the project is actually, if I could use the word solid, uh, based on
Yeah.
how he has been able to like explain with, a lot of the, demonstrations and why he feels this project could be really, really, really beneficial to. So I feel it's a solid project, yeah, and that's all for me.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Tevo and then Alex.
I think you're onto something. Wouldn't yet. The concerns I have here is I would want to see a list of all of, like, already started with it, but more of a list of all the Go tools, and then giving like behind that Go tool of what are the main features of that, because I think there is like with the need of knowing exactly where your Gov tool is going to fit into, where's that benefit that nobody else has. But I think there is this visualizing the end-to-end process of either proposals and or even going to the edge end of where the data is going to end up with. I think these, at least I'm not aware of any of tools where you can just kind of browse through it. And that will be like at least two components here that are kind of missing. So yeah, like refining the proposals to target the specific areas. I think you also will get your scope down quite a lot and might be even a monthly or even weekend. Okay, weekend is maybe crazy. It's still a blockchain space. But yeah, that's basically my answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Tevo. Alex and then Harsha.
Yes, I have quite a lot of concerns about this, and Tivo just sounded some of them, and I think some analysis and differentiation from existing solutions should be prior to posting the proposal, because it's going to be in the form. It's one of the things. This is going to be an MVP proposal or like product thing. It's not an, or maybe open source thing. I don't know. But anyway, there's going to be a question about how are you differentiating from what already exists. And just looking at this proposal, I'm pretty confused at that.
Now that's
suspect some wishful thinking there,
Okay, yeah, I definitely want to get your thoughts on that one, Emmanuel. But let's hear from Harsha, and he'll close out this round.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with a lot of what Tevo and Alex are saying. But also, what I do see with this proposal is that it is actually pretty similar to Tevo's proposal. The key difference here is that Emmanuel would want to like add this proposal to the Gimbalabs list of proposals that we'd be presenting in Fund 15, I think this is. Yeah. So basically, what I want to understand is, are there any is there any minimum viable quality document that I can refer to and say, hey, this is ready to be a part of Gimbalab's proposed proposal? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, not
Okay.
really. Yeah, we were thinking of doing something like the PRD, like the product development, product requirements for this, but we don't have it right now. It's not available right now. So yeah,
What was that? What is product requirements?
Yeah, product requirements document. It's one of the
yeah,
documents in the software development sort of pantheon. Yeah.
just like the documents will be revealing the features, the user interface, how user is going to how user will be navigating on the platform. Yeah, so yeah, if if it's to go to if we are to take it to Project Catalyst, I think we'll be able to come up with that. And and Yeah, yeah. So yeah.
What one of the things I want to highlight for you, Emmanuel, was what oh wait a minute. Oh yeah. Which proposal category are you thinking it might go into? Because they're different. There's only four. One of them is midnight. The other one is like uh uh like big industry integration. Yeah, you're pulling up Project Catalyst now, yeah. And then there's ecosystem, and then there's like one developer uh uh concept concept proposal, which it feels like this might be in the developer concept proposal. If you go up to funds,
There are basically only two options. It's like
yeah,
development or ecosystem. So the concepts,
yeah,
MVGs or a full out product, all of them now are lumped into one, I think. But the max amount is 200,000 data.
yeah, 200,000. Emmanuel, if you go to the funds and go to fund 15.
Oh, so Emmanuel, are you also making a proposal for that, like Catalyst proposal for this thing you're sharing right now? Because if you do
Sorry,
What
what
I
did you say?
are you making also a Catalyst proposal for this project you are like trying to scope here?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Because yeah, if you are able to aggregate a list and see a specific thing that is missing, and so hey, there are like 10 governance tools here in Cardano ecosystem, but none of them do any of these things. I think that would be a very compelling case.
It's
Because
it's interesting because I think that's
Okay.
part of they've got this self-assessment, and this does sort of get us start to talking about Catalyst, which is really what our next proposal from Alex is about. And let's look at that. Let's look at that in detail. Emmanuel, if you would go, yeah, go to funds 15. Yeah, and then and Tivo is right, and I see that James has got his hand up. So go ahead while we're pulling up those categories. Go ahead, James.
To the conversation about features that governance tools don't have yet, there's one that I was talking to some non-Cardano people who are high ranking in like consulting and business last week at the summit. What they said they would love to see in a governance tool is a way to collect consequence analysis from stakeholders. The term consequence analysis is a well-known one in consulting. And Emmanuel, I would suggest doing a little research on that concept, right? And imagine if we had a way to do what it sounds like, right? Analyze the potential consequences of making a decision in a public venue. This is coming straight from user feedback, right? People who are not in the Cardano ecosystem yet would love to see a more robust system for that. So if you wanted to respond directly to that kind of feedback, that might be an entry point for you.
Yeah, consequence analysis. I've never heard of it. I'm pulling in a Google search.
would
I'll
that
drop it in
mean
the
it's
chat.
like after analysis, like from the stakeholder perspective, like qualitative assessment, like okay, funds, but aren't the milestone reviewers doing that when they are like doing this
Ah,
achievement?
This is something you do before you make a decision.
Ah, okay.
So to inform a decision, what people do when there's a lot at stake, one of the processes they employ is called consequence analysis.
sounds legit. Yeah, that's
Newman, did you say sounds legit?
yeah, sounds legit. I mean, that's what you do. I mean, you know, Yeah, I mean, it sounds like what you would do is just like, okay, what are the consequences of this action? You know, we say good enough for now, safe enough to try, and that's basically an analysis that say, is this good enough for now, and is this safe? You know, we talk about decisions that are above and below the water line, meaning that if something is below the water line, that if the consequences are high, that if there's a mistake, then we could start leaking in a way that would really be detrimental. But if it's, you know, if it's just changing something without much consequence, then it takes a different form. Um, and it does. I'm glad to know that business consulting is thinking about this. Um, you know, it shows that, you know, hey, there are consequences. These decisions are not, um, you know, they can be a real big thing.
In the history of Gimbalabs in the earliest days of Playground, this is kind of a way to describe what we used to do, right? We would sit
Mm,
around and we would talk about technology. Somebody would bring
right.
a demo. Here's a wallet. Here's a new app. Here's something I'm thinking about doing. And we would start those conversations by sure talking about the tech, but it soon turns into a conversation about what are the implications of this tech,
Right, right, right.
right? And the best part about those conversations is they were open to non-developers. And one of the things Cardano does need to do better is getting outside of our bubble, right? Taking input from people who do want these systems to work, but maybe they're not the people who are showing up at a dev meeting, right? They're not the people who already have a big bag of ADA and can think about this stuff all the time, but they really do know the landscape of some challenge.
Yeah. So I follow this guy, Dave Weiner, who's a developer, a developer guy, and his term for that, it's basically user-centered design, but his term for that is devs and users party together. Devs and users party together. And I believe it, you know, it's kind of a silly slogan, but uh, you know, getting all the stakeholders in a space and using that term, you know, using that term directly, um, like a space where there's a safe space so that like the real conversation can happen. And that's somewhat what we do here with our rounds, and you know, to where we try to get everyone's voices in, um, and make it a place where we can have a full conversation around it. Um, yeah, these implications. And it's fun because we're solving problems. And we just saw, like, we tried to bring up a Cardano dev tool, and it was, you know, the DNS wasn't working or something was down. That proposal about the top level domain names that we looked at earlier. Yeah, who run Bartertown, which is a Mad Max reference. Um, you know, who runs our governance? Like, how does it work? Because we don't have a company, you know, with a president, and you know, it is a decentralized spot. So projects like this would be a great way to solve this real problem.
Hey Newman,
And yeah,
I still think this is like a slightly time sensitive one, so I'm just curious. So we still need to figure out which all proposals go with like the Gimbalabs brand.
yep.
Yeah.
And that means that Gimbal Labs as the Gimbal Labs as a unit, and I think you or one of us holds that key to where we can sign in. We have a key, we have a Catalyst keychain that says Gimbal Labs.
Yeah,
And
so
we want,
I have access to it. James and Sebastian Pabon has access to it at the
yeah,
moment.
yeah. And so that's our next topic for the next 10, 15 minutes now. Um,
Yeah. So yeah,
which two proposals? Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll stop sharing my screen now, but just saying, okay, if Blockprint decides to go along with this proposal after taking into all of the final consideration, because I don't think we'll be meeting again next week. That'll be on the sorry, I think if we'll be meeting again next week, that'll be on the 27th. That'll be on the deadline day to
Oh, yeah.
submit. Yeah. So could we still is there anyone thinking there's still some future collaboration from developers and Gimbalabs in making this happen, or yeah, so it now comes to this like comes to this if I'm just asking
Yeah.
so just asking, could we still go along maybe after getting ourselves internally and saying um yeah, so could we still elaborate us to this proposal? Is it still feasible? And putting into consideration some refinements.
Yeah. I think that's what's on the table here. Are there two developers that can commit to the project at this time?
So is that what is being asked, Emmanuel? Are you, since we're getting close to the deadline, what is your
Yeah,
immediate need? Is it for a
yeah.
couple of people from Gimbalabs to say, hey, I'll come help with the project?
Yeah.
Or is it to decide,
Yeah.
hey, will we be putting in the project with the Gimbalabs, with Gimbalabs?
It depends. It depends. So the resources required right now is two full stack developers and one Cardano governance interest person that would help, that would be in directing and making it align with Cardano's governance because we are all new, maybe we are all new, maybe I'm not new, but I am not really I've not been really following with the Cardano.
Right.
How the Cardano's we needing two full stack developers.
So you already have one person that's interested. Tevo said he's interested in the governance person.
I think if you put down Tevo, Sachs, or Cask, whichever one
Tevo
he's going
Sachs.
by, whichever one he's going by now, that would be a big that would be a draw. People know Tevo. People understand that he's an action person. So if he went on a proposal, it would be a big deal. And depending on like what you needed and sort of that might be a real.
Okay, that's a good question. Do they need my name on the proposal? Because that then the limit of two might. I don't know what's Odin thinking.
No, we are not. No, it won't be part of like as a co-proposer. I think the co-proposer thing will be the one limiting that. Or
Because I'm doing Cardano governance like daily, so
Yeah,
that
that's
yeah,
his
is
day
for
job.
sure.
No,
Yeah.
so what I think is, instead of deciding exactly the details in this space, we should make a space so that Tivo's proposal people can talk there. Emmanuel's proposal can be talked in a space. So I think we should make some space for things like this. Is what I think. Just because
Okay.
we have literally 15 minutes and we need to figure
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. But I think that the two proposals that we have. Oh, well, the other one is the community DREP platform. And this could be about Alex's, because basically this proposal from Alex, and let's jump into that.
yeah.
Let me, like, Alex, can you share your screen? You want me to share my screen? We can just bring up that proposal really quick.
Why would you want to bring it up? Because it doesn't really reflect the scope of discussion that's unfolded now. You know,
Well,
because the proposal in its driver is like, wow, Catalyst now says you cannot have a proposal without a team. If you have a proposal without a team, it's not eligible, or it will be in some way
right.
discouraged. Yeah, so that was the core of the proposal, and then it's like, yeah, I said it. You don't need to say much more, right? And
Yeah.
so after that, for me, the point is like, yeah, okay. So I'm looking for collaborators for my proposals. If anyone is interested, there's like 3 proposals that I have, and there's not enough time to talk about them, and so we may just stop right now and just say like, yeah, okay, we don't have time for that.
I guess that's maybe that's what Harsha is saying, is to say, hey, look, we don't really have time, and that we should maybe convene like a special session early next week to sort of, finalize project memberships and what we want to do in this next season for Fund
And
15.
you have 2 proposals, and then it doesn't concern me so much because, I have 3 proposals for myself, looking for collaborators, and then like it doesn't really. I would love them to be at Gimbalabs, but you already have the
Right.
proposals that you're gonna put forward.
And
So
or if the people that you find that use the sort of framework around Gimbal Labs to say, hey, look, this is a spot where, I don't know that, yeah, like we are all individuals and we can make our own individual choices. But I guess the thing that we wrote down for this meeting, which I do think that we could probably get to in the next 10 minutes, is which are the 2 that Gimbal Labs as an entity will co-propose or propose as a single. Because that's sort of what I got from this proposal that you wrote, Alex. That's on the screen now. Was like, which are the 2 um, will Gimbal Labs as a entity bring to Fund
well,
15?
that's a bit of so workshop for strategies for Cardano Catalyst success. And that's not exactly the 2 proposals that we want to bring, but like how we approach this in general.
Yes, now I see it. Yeah, I see it.
Like you have the proposals. You don't need to, what can I say here? Drop one of your proposals, submit mine instead. Why is mine better then? Like you've been working on that. And I'm not a really regular attendant at Gimbalabs lately, so what can I say?
No. Well, I guess one of them is we used to do Idea Fest, where people would we use the term socialize, like socialize a proposal, but it was mainly to get votes. It was kind of after the submission. But this might be one that says that's sort of asking not for a vote, but for participation. It's the developers' time and attention. Community members' time and attention.
No, just lost it.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
seems
I guess that's
pointless.
what I mean is like I think that we should have a special session Monday or Tuesday of next week that says, hey, look, these are all the proposals that are going on in our community. What do you want to get involved in? I guess that's really the thing, and it used to happen after the funding went down. It's like, look, I've got a batch of money from Catalyst. Who wants to get involved? Now there's maybe rightly so. They're saying, hey, look, make that meeting happen beforehand so that people can commit. The problem with that is that you don't know if it's going to get funded. So you could commit to 2 or 3 different things. That was another big thing. Was just like, oh wow, you know. A group got funded for like 10 projects and they only had 5 people. Uh, so yeah, I feel like that's where we're at.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel kind of lost to Cardano overall. Like, what's the point?
Oh no, don't feel like that. No. Because really, and here's the thing, and this is
All right. If you're gonna schedule a meeting for the next week early, I'm gonna show up. That's what I can say. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm a positive guy. we have agency. We can see a problem and fix it. So it's really like there's so much opportunity, and really that's it. It's just like bringing opportunities. You have, Emmanuel is bringing this opportunity to sort of assess the GovTools environment and build.
I really
And we
like
know that
James's comment on Emmanuel's proposal, but this means proposal has to pivot, and I'm not sure the information really got through here, because discussion continued with the proposal as it was, but the consequence analysis thing is not exactly the same as the proposal as it was. So, I mean, yeah, I support the thing there, but the other gov tools, I said, there's plenty, and there has to be a kind of SWOT analysis and differentiation, and
Right.
what are we building, how is it complements,
Yeah.
and why people fund it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree that yeah, I mean those analysis, but I guess yeah. So have we gotten down, I mean, can we say which proposals we as Gimbalabs, like the Gimbalabs Catalyst member, wants to put their name
Well,
on?
strategy-wise, I would say we should prioritize proposals that would bring Gimbalabs some revenue.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And I don't see any, so again, I'm dumb.
Yeah, so focusing in on revenue, another focus would be like what what has the biggest resonance or what people want to get involved with.
Or what would get funded most likely? Yeah, that's
And then
like
what's most likely to get funded? That's true. But we know that the funding can be fickle. It's not really easy to determine what might get funded. But yeah, so what brings in revenue,
yeah.
what might get funded, and what we have, capacity or interest in. I
Yeah.
think that the governance issue is great. For instance, this DREP platform that Nelson, Harsha, and Lewis and I are working on is it's a great tool for learning and getting involved with building a collaborative project. It does solve a problem, but the benefit for me, or one of the benefits, is building on something with a group of people using all of the tools and this tech stack, that basically T3 tech stack, and getting familiar with how to work with that. We've been doing a little bit of AI, assisted stuff with the documentation and whatnot. It's a great test bed to learn to be a better developer. They're learning these new tools. Yeah. And I think it really does solve a use case. If you're going to be a Cardano community and you've got perspective on the governance actions as they happen, that tool, as it's written, is a great tool for collecting community feedback. Yeah. So
I'm just wondering, doesn't Gimbalabs this time then run any of these operations or spaces or any of these or any PBL stuff? Or is it like done doing these proposals? Or because I assume there are these coming like every fund.
Well, yeah, Harsha, you might be able to answer that one. I mean, we just consented to and started up this latest season, as I like to say, of live codings or weekly sessions in support of the projects.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
just so we're not gonna make another proposal for that, which is typically what we've done. And we call it sustain and maintain Gimbalabs. It's just basically our the funding for these spaces.
Our meeting about the Cardano Go PBL course starts in 6 minutes, right after this call.
Oh, snap.
So that basically means get it over with, Newman.
Okay.
No,
Um,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah.
no. I mean, I don't think. Yeah, we don't. I guess I don't think can we do a round and just say which two we want to do because we're not going to have another open spaces. I'm in support of Emmanuel's and the DREP community platform.
So I'll just give my opinion at this point. I think it's better to just create like a temporary channel where we decide. Otherwise, we'd be like forcing
Yeah.
ourselves to make like a
Yep.
decision.
I agree. So that's what we'll do is we'll make a temporary channel in the Discord and just say, hey, look, maybe we'll have a little straw poll. This could be something that we establish a new method or a new process.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
another
But
thing
there's no need
is
to rush. There's no
if
need to
you
rush.
don't even know which should get Gimbalabs branding, I wanted like every fund, at least I have noticed that maybe even James doesn't know, but a lot of are like putting, oh, I'm gonna do PBL here, I'm gonna use Andamio there, and like you leveraging like others, like, hey, who wants Gimbalabs branding on their proposal?
It's a byproduct of the system, right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing to observe. In the last 30 minutes, I've heard a lot of reasons not to do things. And I just want to remind anybody who has a proposal in mind, you want Gimbalabs to back a proposal, write a great proposal. Right? If you have something in mind that you think should happen, step one, write it. Right? This debate is ineffective here. We need a great proposal if that's what people say we need. If you have an idea, get it in writing, and those will be the ones most likely to be posted.
Well, I have two proposals which I want to resubmit from the last one. We just didn't have time to review them.
All right, yeah.
Because I'm resubmitting the Fund 14 proposals for the Fund 15 because I still think they are great, and I wrote them on in great detail for the fund. But we didn't have time to review them, you know.
So like Newman just said, there's going to be an asynchronous channel for that, right? Be active there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
right.
And I guess that what that means is like, hey, look, these are proposals that that may want developers, may want this sort of skill set that's around here, facilitators. We've got some facilitators. Then we can kind of look and sort of say, yes, these are, and yeah. I think that could be a good thing. That could be a good thing. All right. Once again, we've met on Thursday. If you're listening to this on YouTube, I'm now engaging my robo voice and saying, hey, you can join our Discord. It's totally open and available. You're welcome there. You can participate. You can see this new channel that we're about to start up to post your Gimbalabs Fund 15 proposal or Project Catalyst Fund 15 proposal. Lots of cool things happen there. We do live sessions all through the week. Our calendar is being updated. There you can get involved with developing and governance and all the things that we've talked about with these really happy and good folks. So with that being said, I'll say goodbye to everybody. We'll start up our next things. Thanks for being here.